The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It's a topic we've talked about a lot, and the season is still months away. Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey's dynamic. What does that look like long-term? ESPN's Rich Cimini had a strong take on that. We'll play it and react. It is a Football Friday. It's a Knicks Game 5 Eve Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans and Knick fans. Welcome in, everybody. If you're watching live, we are presented by PrizePicks. I will have a Knicks and Spurs Game 5 PrizePick lineup for you later in the show. If you're watching live, we're starting a little earlier here on a Friday than normal. That's because found out late last night that I'm filling in for Michael K today from 1 to 3 on 880 ESPN New York. Michael's flights changed with the Yankees to go to Toronto this weekend, so he's flying during his radio show. So I am filling in, which means this is the one live YouTube show you are getting today. If you want to hear more of me, you'll get 2 hours worth of it starting at 1 Eastern time, 1 p.m. Eastern on 880 ESPN New York. You could watch on the ESPN New York YouTube channel as well. The Asmaniac Weekly Raffle will be at the end of this show. Your chance to win a signed Karl Anthony Towns jersey, a Garrett Wilson framed jersey art print will look amazing in your living rooms, in your man caves, wherever you want to display it. Signed Aaron Glenn end zone pylon and a signed Richard Todd jersey. So 4 items up for grabs. All memberships today are double since we're only doing one show. So on the latest Jets Collective, and I recommend everyone goes and watches the full episode, at the end of our show, we got into a discussion centered around Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey. And this came up because a listener of this show, Jason in Jerusalem, asked Rich Cimini's opinion on Darren Mougey's status. Is he on the hot seat like Aaron Glenn is on the hot seat? So I'm going to play you part of the conversation here, and then I'll get the opportunity to expand on my thoughts on the matter, and we certainly want to hear from you. So again, this is from the most recent Jets Collective episode. Listen to the clip, and then we can collectively, pun intended, weigh in. It is from Jason Picker, who says, is Mougey's seat as hot as Glenn's?
No way. Not even close. No way. That's
I don't
easy.
think so. No.
I mean, have we reached a point where, and this is probably a much broader topic we could delve into in future episodes, have we reached a point where, like, the Jets themselves don't view Mougey and Glenn as, like, attached at the hip, hand in hand? Because Glenn, of course, had a major say in Mougey getting the GM job in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if GMs and coaches are attached at the hip as they once were. I mean, everyone thought Dable and Shane were attached at the hip. Well, what happened to that?
Yep.
So I don't think that's the case anymore in the NFL. And these guys are not attached at the hip. So I think they'll be evaluated separately. They both report to the owner, and they'll be evaluated on their own merits. And if the Jets have another crap year like 3-14, I think Aaron Glenn will be history. But I do think Mougey will stick around, assuming they some of these players that he brought in, like Bailey and Sadiq and Cooper and the big, some of the signings, assuming they do okay and not our busts. I think Mougey will be back. I think he's made some good moves. And Aaron Glenn his seat is hotter.
I don't think there's any question. I'll just add this real quickly here. Let's say they both, even though I don't think Mougey would, get fired at the end of the year. Is anybody going to hire Aaron Glenn? No. Would Mougey get some sniffs? In my opinion, yes.
Not as a GM right away.
I think he would. I think he would. I love him. I think I think the league likes him. Where he came from, what he's done in a small circle. I know I kind of pushed that really downstream. I get that, but no, that's just to illuminate the fact. I think they're a planet apart. I think Mougey is held in really high regard for the job that he's done so far in a small sample. And I think Glenn, if he's held in high regard, it's because Woody likes him. It's a big difference.
Yeah. Still got to win, though.
I know.
Win.
I hear you.
Win.
And so I agree with your premise, BT, for the most part. I just want to remind every Jet fan, we all loved Joe Douglas at the beginning. He extracted great value in the Jamal deal and the Sam Darnold trade. He got a fourth for Chris Stonehands Herndon. And when he made the big swings, which was taking Zach Wilson, and he got to hire Robert Saleh as his coach, that's when it fell apart. Mougey's done a nice job kind of laying the foundation, but he hasn't had to swing for the quarterback yet, and he hasn't had to swing for maybe his head coach if Aaron Glenn can't turn it around.
Well, that's another reason why I don't think he'd be fired. Now, if he drafted somebody a year ago or this year and he's an absolute stiff like Zach Wilson was, that's different. That's a different scoreboard of judgment, but he, at the very least, he's going to get to draft a quarterback other than Cade Klubnik, I would imagine.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So here's the thing. I think if you look at it, we've come a long way from so many people, including some that cover the Jets, saying, no, they're hand in hand. You have the biggest Jets reporter there saying, well, I think it's already pretty clear that they're not attached at the hip. Remember, that was not the case at the beginning of the tenure for Aaron Glenn. That's how bad Aaron Glenn's first year went. Remember, Aaron Glenn was calling all the shots. And we have seen over the last year that no longer be the case where he is the final decision maker on all matters. There's too much smoke around the fact that Mougey is more involved. Remember, everyone tried to shoot down that initial Mike Francesa report from months ago? I bet you that was entirely accurate. Mike didn't just make that up. That doesn't just come from nowhere. There's been too much smoke around this. They're not attached at the hip. You heard Rich just say it. They're not. And a big thing we should bring up is what we alluded to in the segment there. Brian Dable and Joe Shane aren't attached at the hip. We all thought they were. We're seeing this more and more. The GM gets more than one opportunity with a coach more times than not. And remember, Darren Mougey didn't hire Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn helped Darren Mougey get the job. Just like Adam Gase helped Joe Douglas get a job with the Jets. Douglas got to move on from Gase and hire his own coach. So the idea that they're on the same timeline, I don't agree. I think if you talk to anyone around the league, and I've been lucky enough to be at several NFL tentpole events this offseason, from Radio Row at the Super Bowl to the Senior Bowl in Mobile to the NFL Combine and the NFL Draft, I've spoken with enough people around the league, whether they be agents for players or coaches, front office executives, scouts, just people in the know that know these guys and know the inner workings of the operation for football teams. And they say, what Darren's done is impressive. Hey, how many times did I reference a different version of someone telling me, yeah, I don't know about Aaron Glenn, but Darren's really good. You guys have a GM. I mean, I've been consistent in saying that. I think Mougey, to BT's point in the clip there, he does have a really good reputation around the league. People have now used what the Jets got for Sauce and Quinnen as, checkpoints in other deals of like, well, if Sauce and Quinnen went for this, we need at least this for our player if we're going to trade him. Like, that has now been a barometer other teams have used. We all think Mougey did well in the draft this year, right? Even if you were more of a Reese than Bailey guy, you can't argue with the pick at 2 as far as did they reach on a player? No. It was either going to be one or the other. They got that player. I think people like the Sadiq and Cooper combination. We all know Pons was highly regarded. The day 3 picks we'll see, but it sounds like they got value, at least with a guy like Inez Cooper, for example. So I think ultimately they got to win games. And if the Jets are just awful all around, then yeah, I mean, I could see them cleaning house completely. But I think if they're just like a 5-win team, 6-win team, I can see Darren Mougey convincing ownership, hey, this is a coaching problem. Let me get my own opportunity to get my coach for my quarterback I'm now going to be drafting in the first round. You could see this playing out if it doesn't go well. The hope is it does go well. Aaron Glenn wins games. The Jets are competitive. He saves his job. And you feel better about the long-term standing of the team. But the bottom line is we have seen a seismic shift in a year from what the dynamic was. Mougey is Glenn's sidekick, according to the owner who said that at the introductory press conference in January of 2025, to here we are in June of 2026 before year 2 of the season is going to begin. And anyone connected to the team is now saying, well, they're not attached to the hip, when it was Mougey reporting to Glenn, and that's no longer the case. Mougey has had way more say and influence in the personnel moves. That's obvious. There's too much smoke around that. There's too many reports about that. And the Jets could leak it to their beat writer of choice. No, that's not true. The dynamics haven't changed. I don't buy that. I don't believe it. The dynamics have to change. Glenn was that bad in year 1. He's lucky to get a year 2 when you win 3 games and look as historically inept as they did. Again, it's Glenn and Hugh Jackson who have ever been allowed to fire this many coaches after a year and actually still have a job. What I like about where the Jets are at is this. If it goes well for Glenn, great. It's an awesome story if he turns out to be an awesome coach. And then we'll have some hope as fans. If it doesn't go well, you know what? The Jets are set up with the most cap space in the league, 3 first-round picks. And if it doesn't go well, one of those picks is going to be a very high pick. Maybe they catch lightning in the bottle and the Colts stink, or something happens with Dallas or the Packers this year, and it ends up being a way better pick than we realize. But either way, if it doesn't go well, you're going to get a top draft pick with at least one of those firsts. It's a much better quarterback class. And again, I don't think this is the worst roster in the league. I don't think they should be one of the worst teams in the league for that matter. I think this is a good, not good. It's good in some areas. I'm trying to be positive. I think this is like an average roster. It really comes down to the play of Geno Smith, right? If he's confident, you have a good O-line for him. You have a number 1 wide receiver. You have a running back who, despite how anyone feels about him, where he ranks, he's not a top 5 guy. Okay, well, he's in the top 8. I don't think you can name me 8 running backs you're taking before Breece Hall. I think we like the chance of a guy like Braylon Allen popping this year. I think Mason Taylor in year 2 will be better. You have obviously Sadiq and Cooper added to the offense. The defense, I think, actually has some NFL players, and the scheme with Glenn taking over, no matter how you might feel about him as a head coach, he's an upgrade as defensive coordinator over Steve Wilkes, you would think. So, Glenn's going to get a fair evaluation here of what he is as a coach. No one's saying you got to make the playoffs, but you know what you need to do? You need to go out there and be in the hunt. We talked about this on the collective yesterday. 4-4 through 8. Be relevant going into the last month of the year. Don't start 0-4 and your season's cooked before we even get to the month of October. That can't happen. But I think what has been obvious now for a while, and I'm glad Rich said it, these guys are not attached at the hip. And, Glenn helped hire Mougey. Great. Joe Douglas got the job because of Adam Gase. Joe Shane hired Brian Dable. He's still employed by the Giants. So think about that. The idea that we're going to sit here and say that if the Jets are bad, they're both gone. I don't know about that. Especially when you look at the Jet history, and, Manish Mehta said this on the show months ago, they don't like having to pay guys to not work. And Glenn, if he doesn't work out this year, would still have 3 years left on his contract. You'd be paying him. Mougey, I'd imagine, probably got a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal like Aaron Glenn did. So you'd be paying him. And then you need to hire another coach and another GM. And I don't know if Woody wants to do that. So I think if there's a path for him to keep Mougey and sell the fan base on, we have the GM, now we need the coach, I think they'll do that. The best case scenario is Aaron Glenn works out this year. The Jets have a nice season. You're building something for the future with this regime in place. But again, if it doesn't work out, I think the Jets are set up to be one of the more intriguing teams in the NFL a year from now. This could be the most attractive job opening. Now, the Jets never get the number one pick. We know that. They couldn't get it this past year. They're never going to get it. So they're not going to pick one. But if they're in the top 5, I'd imagine there'll be more than one quarterback available. And look, it sucks to have to go through that. There's no doubt. But I think there's light at the end of the tunnel finally. Again, I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's just we got to go all Andy Dufresne and crawl through a pile of you-know-what to get there. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. The Jets better win week 1 because they're facing Robert Saleh. They're facing a Titans team that I don't think is very good, and the Asmaniacs are taking over. Join me in Nashville, day before the game, September 12th, free party for any Jet fan making the trip at Barstool Nashville. It's going to be insane. I'm doing a live show from there. We're going to have a blast. 4 to 7 it starts. Free if you RSVP. Click the link in the description if you're headed down to Nashville with us. Then the next morning on game day, I teamed up with Game Day Flight Crew, a brand new New York Jets supporter club, to host a huge tailgate right next to the stadium from 8 to noon before kickoff. Tickets are on sale now. If you go to GameDayFlightCrew.com, the link to do so is in the description. And since we're talking about Asmaniac events, Gangrene Beach Club is upon us, baby. Join me and your favorite content creators. Cimini will be there. BT will be there. So you'll have a Jets collective hangout on the beach. HQ2 is where we're going to be. Tickets on sale now, just $25 if you go to gangrenebeachclub.com. You don't need to be staying at Oceans Casino to attend. You can come for the day. You can stay at a different AC property, but we need everyone there. Gangrene Beach Club. All you need to do is lock in your ticket, and you will be ready to roll. If you're just joining us, end of the show today is the weekly Asmaniac raffle. I'm only doing one live show today unless there's some crazy Jet breaking news. So every membership is double today. Your chance to win a Richard Todd signed jersey, Aaron Glenn signed end zone pylon, signed Garrett Wilson jersey art print, and our top prize for all my Knick fans out there, baby, a signed Karl Anthony Towns jersey. That is up for grabs at the end of this show. So if you want in, make sure you gift the membership or send in a super chat to qualify. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank P getting us rolling. 20 gifted memberships. It's double, 40 memberships in the weekly raffle from Frank P. Frank, let's go. Yeah, baby. All right. These are from Frank. Let me rip through it here. King Cosmic, Ghost 3 Sibs, Ash Khabib, Allison Tuckwald, S. Coot WBS, Wembenyama's a dirtbag, Nitro 991, Monkey D Boots, Jeff Hickman TC, Camille Remy, Screw You Wemby, Addy NY, Wen 2778, Spurs Fans Poop, Horns Waggle, D Shinzu, Michael Plaza, TX Trucker, Wemby's a dirtbag, Irangagu, Play Z Win, Big Sky Jet Fan, Weezak 1627. I might have a special guest joining my show. Stay tuned for that. Alex 2810, all receiving a gifted membership there from the great Frank P. Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
I am posting right now the call-in link for anyone who wants in the conversation. Talking Jets, talking, of course, all things Knicks Game 5 tomorrow night. Can you believe it? So here's the scenario that I'm dealing with. So I had no idea when I knew I had to be in Boston this weekend for a wedding that the Knicks would be in the NBA Finals. One of my closest friends getting married. The wedding's on Sunday, right? So I'm flying up to Boston tomorrow morning. The rehearsal dinner is tomorrow night. It's at the hotel that we're staying at. It should be done by 8:15. So I'm not missing a second of the game. Game will tip off at 8:42 because we know the NBA likes to say 8:30. It's not. It's 8:42. So I'm not going to miss any of the Knicks game. Don't worry. But I was asked by my bosses at ESPN New York, if the Knicks win a championship, can you do a live show after the Knicks postgame is over from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.? Now, obviously, if they win a championship, I'm going to be up. I don't care. The problem is, if I was home, this is easy. I probably would even go into the studio and celebrate. It'd be amazing. But I'm going to be doing this radio show from my hotel room in Boston. How's that going to go? Am I going to get some noise complaints from angry Celtic fans? But I agreed to do it, so I'm bringing my equipment with me, my remote radio equipment I own, to do a live show if the Knicks win. It's only if they win. If the Knicks win tomorrow night, they win Game 5, I'm going to need you guys to call in. I'll post the link and the call-in number in the Discord. It's 800-919-ESPN. Same number today when I'm in for K. But I'm going to be doing a live 4-hour Knicks win their first championship in 53 years radio show. And then I'll be on absolutely no sleep for the wedding. So it is going to be a bender unlike any other. So I can't wait. Now, part of me is like, if they lose, at least I don't have to do this show because that'd be miserable. And I'm gladly willing to operate on no hours of sleep if they win. We're talking about the NBA Finals, a championship. So I'm in. So let's see if I have to do this radio show for 4 hours starting at 2 a.m. from a Boston hotel room. Ozzy in the raffle for 2. He gifted 1 membership. Let's go.
Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo.
Let's go, Mike Brown. Ozzy, thank you. Doc Jet fan checks in. He's in the raffle for 2 with this one. Doc, thank you as always.
Yeah.
Doc writes in, you have been a great Knicks fan, Jake, for 20 to 25 years, and you're so excited you could taste the championship. I've been waiting for 53. Imagine how incredibly hungry I am. Go Knicks. Finish the job. You've been waiting a long time, Doc. And what's crazy is, you obviously had the runs in the 90s where they came close. I've had nothing. The best runs I've had have been the last couple of years. Even the year the Knicks won 54 games with Carmelo. That team should have at least went to the conference finals. They got beat in the second round by Indiana. And then that was it. Melo was a Knick for 7 years. They won 1 playoff series with him. This run alone, the Knicks already won 3 playoff series. That's crazy. They're this close. And let me say this to my fellow Knicks fans. I understand the premise of what you're trying to say when you say, well, I'd rather just win it at home. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. Too much could go wrong. If you're like, yeah, it's okay if we lose Game 5. We'll just win it at the Garden in 6. Could they win it in 6 at the Garden? For sure. Why tempt any fate? What if someone gets seriously injured, God forbid, tomorrow night? Or in Game 6, in the first quarter, something happens, God forbid, to Jalen Brunson or OG Anunoby, right? Think about how different this series is if the Knicks went out there and they lost Jalen Brunson in the first quarter of the NBA Finals when he had to go back to the locker room, but that injury was serious. You don't tempt fate. So if you're a Knicks fan saying, I'd rather just win it at home. The Knicks have not won a playoff series at home since 1999. Think about that. So it's been a long time since the Knicks advanced to any next round at home. And this would be not advancing. This would be the final destination. This would be immortality, a championship that would last a lifetime. It doesn't matter where you win it. You got to win it. You're up 3-1. Don't give the Spurs any hope. They feel like if they win game 5, well, we should have won both games at MSG. Don't give them any confidence. Now, do I think the Knicks are going to be rattled if they were to lose tomorrow night? No. I still think odds are, if you just base it on history, they're going to win one of the next 3 games. But I don't want to tempt faith. I'm sure Warriors fans felt pretty good about their chances when they were up 3-1 on the Cavs. That's the only time in finals history a team down 3-1 has come back. But you don't tempt faith. If you can win, you got to win, especially when you know the officiating is going to be so one-sided, I'm sure, again tomorrow night, favoring the Spurs. And the Knicks are going to have to overcome that. But you do not tempt fate under any circumstance if you're the Knicks. You don't do it. If you have a way to win, you go out there and take it. That's what the Knicks have to do. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line, talking Jets, talking Knicks. Gator in the house. If you were coaching the Knicks, what changes would you make in game 5, considering these slow starts? 3-point barrage, dirty play, foul trouble. Well, they can't get in foul trouble again, but sometimes that's not in the Knicks' control. Like if Cat picks up 2 quick fouls in 62 seconds, that's a problem. I think a big thing the Knicks have to do is they have to run on the Spurs, get in transition. A big reason they came back and they won the game the other night after being down 29 points is when they made the change and started playing Jose Alvarado. Mike Brown talked about the need to get more speed out there, to get in transition quicker, make Wemby run. He played a lot of minutes the other night. Let's see if he can get worn down. I think the Knicks also need their best players to shoot better, their role players especially. Now, usually your role players play better at home. That wasn't the case, right? Landry Shamet, Deuce McBride, they didn't play that great. They gave you nothing. Deuce really has given you nothing all series. I hope Landry Shamet finds his shooting stroke again. Brunson's going to get his. There's going to be an opportunity for OG to do his thing. I think you need Mikal Bridges to step up again. He really has given you nothing the last 2 games after he's been so good in these playoffs. He was so good in game 2. I'd like to see the Alvarado-Brunson combo, though. I think they're going to use that again. I think that worked. And there's a bit of a sample size now of this working against the Spurs. I know it's the regular season, but remember the NBA Cup when the Knicks played the Spurs, that game technically doesn't count, even though we all watched it and the Knicks won and they won the Fakakta Cup. But a big part of that win that night in Vegas was when the Knicks went to a 2-guard lineup with Brunson and Tyler Kolek. Right? Alvarado wasn't on the Knicks yet. So I think from a team standpoint, run. And let's see if they could get some of the guys who haven't played well the last couple of games. See if they could get them going. Raffle at the end of the show. Make sure you enter. Everything is double today, baby. 4 signed items, including a cat jersey, Rasta Dread, in the Asmaniac raffle for 10 entries. Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
In addition to the cat jersey, we got the framed Garrett Wilson jersey art. Signed Glenn ends on pylon. Where are the Glenn bootlickers? I figured they'd be all about this. Richard Todd signed jersey is our 4th and final prize on the program today. If you hear your name called, thank Rasta for making you a channel member. Devin Mann, Cyclone44, Whitney Reynolds, Joshua Bertland, DD138, all receiving a gifted membership from Rasta. All right, I pinned the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline. If you call in today, we'll give you 1 raffle entry, a little listener appreciation here on a Friday. Devin says, Knicks in 5, LFG. Amen. Mimosa in the house. Win when you can. Doesn't matter what court it's on. Don't F around. Let's go. Agreed. Again, it'd be nice to win at the Garden in a perfect world, but who cares? Win. The party's going to be amazing either way, especially if they win on a Saturday night in New York City. I'm sad that I have to be at this wedding. Yeah, the parade will probably be earliest Monday, more likely Tuesday or Wednesday, I bet. And we'll do a big Asmaniac meetup at the parade. We'll find somewhere to bring everyone together that day. I can't wait, man. But we got to win one more. Job's not done. Job's not finished. To quote Kobe. One win away, though, from basketball immortality. First State Jets writes, and I know it's lame, but I think it's silly to make blanket statements at this juncture of their tenure. Time will tell if they both prove enough independently to earn the right to stay independently. Right. But I do a daily show on the Jets and it's June 12th. And if the most plugged in Jet reporter says Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn are not attached at the hip, I think it's a worthwhile discussion considering it was a year ago at this time where we didn't even talk about Mougey. It was all Glenn. Mougey defers to him. He's the sidekick, according to Woody Johnson, who owns the team. So there's been a noticeable shift, and I think fans have noticed it. Media types have noticed it. And I think fans like Darren Mougey. That's the difference. I think we see what he has done. Veteran Jet fan writes, and I think Mougey still has a lot to prove. The draft picks have to deliver. No denying that the trades have been good from a value return standpoint. Yeah, and even some of the trades that he made for players have been good, right? Harrison Phillips and Jawan Briggs. Those are great moves. And look, it's the moves on the margins that help you ultimately win long-term if you have the right infrastructure already in place. For instance, look at the Knicks. When they acquired Jose Alvarado, did anyone think anything of it? When you watch the Knicks in the playoffs, and Alvarado really hasn't played a lot. He's been out of the rotation most nights. Did you think Jose Alvarado would have a moment where he'd need to come in and save the Knicks bacon in an NBA Finals game? Right? Like, so if you're building your team, like, it does matter that you could find a Harrison Phillips on the margins for a late day 3 pick, or Jawan Briggs is a young ascending player that you got for nothing. That stuff matters. But the big swing that they have to get right is quarterback and coach, because I think coach is even more important in football than basketball. Not saying it's not important in basketball, but I think you could argue the coach in sports matters more. The coach in football matters more than any other of the major sports. I've long believed it starts with coach and quarterback in the NFL. You can't be consistently good if you don't have competency at both spots. Joining us right now is a man who will be joining us at Gangrene Beach Club in 1 month. Can you believe it? Paul Boy Green, Esden Jr. stopping by. BG, how we feeling?
Feeling great, Jake. Thanks for having me on the show, brother. And yeah, Gangrene Beach Club, gangrenebeachclub.com, $25 tickets, information over there. And yeah, man, Rich Cimini, Brandon Tierney, Jets Collective. I mean, Matt O'Leary. I mean, there's all kinds of people that are going to be over there. It's going to be great.
Going to be a lot of fun. So I'm glad that you could hop on because I wanted to get your take on something. I'm sure you saw it. You're usually pretty in tune with everything going on with the Jets Collective. I'm going to play you part of this clip here. It was a listener question we got about if Darren Mougey's on the hot seat after we all have pretty much acknowledged, and the Jets themselves have acknowledged with some of their comments that they got to win games. Glenn's on the hot seat. I'm going to play you the clip here and Cimini's answer in particular, and then I want your take on it. So here we go. This is from Jason Picker, who says, is Mougey's seat as hot as Glenn's?
No way. Not even close. No way. That's
I don't
easy.
think so. No.
I mean, have we reached a point where, and this is probably a much broader topic we could delve into in future episodes, have we reached a point where, like, the Jets themselves don't view Mougey and Glenn as, like, attached at the hip, hand in hand? Because Glenn, of course, had a major say in Mougey getting the GM job in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if GMs and coaches are attached at the hip as they once were. I mean, everyone thought Dable and Shane were attached at the hip. Well, what happened to that?
Yep.
You know, so I don't think that's the case anymore in the NFL. And these guys are not attached at the hip. So I think they'll be evaluated separately. They both report to the owner, and they'll be evaluated on their own merits. And if the Jets have another crap year like 3-14, I think Aaron Glenn will be history. But I do think Mougey will stick around, assuming some of these players that he brought in, like Bailey and Sadiq and Cooper and the big, some of the signings, assuming they do okay, and then not our busts, I think Mougey will be back. I think he's made some good moves, and Aaron Glenn his seat is hotter.
Do you agree with that? Are they no longer attached to the hip? And I preface it, Boy Green, or I preface it by saying Woody Johnson famously said at the introductory press conference that Mougey is Glenn's sidekick, but there's been this shift over the last year, some smoke around some of the reports that are out there about how Mougey's been more involved. Fans like Mougey more. People around the league talk up Darren Mougey. Do you buy the idea that they're no longer, attached at the hip? As Rich says they're going to be evaluated separately.
The first part is I just love how passionate Brandon Tierney is, your buddy, your co-host BT of Darren Mougey. The mere mention of that they're like, no, absolutely not. No. Like, right, guys? No, right? I love when he does that on the Jets Collective.
He
podcast.
Loves Mougey. Loves him.
He does. And I love me some Mougey too. But for me, as much as I love Mougey, and there's been a lot of good, and the Mougician, and the Moogster, the Mooch, I love all that. He hasn't had to pick a quarterback yet. That's for good and bad. Like, he hasn't swung and missed badly that we're all like, pressure's on, buddy. Or hit right where we're all building him a statue. I think that's the last piece of the puzzle, and a very important piece. Some people never get that piece, to build Darren Mougey a statue. Is he's done a lot of things. There's a lot of arrows pointing in the right direction. But for me, until he gets a quarterback, we're all just waiting. It's all TBD. Now, I do believe that ultimately Mougey's going to get his swing. I would be surprised if this season goes to crap, the direct quote of Rich Cimini. If this season goes to crap and that Woody just wipes the slate clean, sorry, Mougey, you never get a shot at a quarterback. Cade Klubnik does not count in the 4th round, and AG, you're gone. There's something inside of me that says Mougey's going to get his chance to call his shot, for better or for worse. And obviously that is most likely to come in the 2027 NFL draft. So I've always been a guy that I preferred at the hip. I guess I'm a purist from that standpoint. I've hated that over the last decade plus the Jets have had all these guys on different timelines. When Rex Ryan and Tannenbaum were split, then he was paired with Idzik, and they had McCagnon and Todd Bowles. And to me, when they're on, and in that unique case, McCagnon and Bowles were supposed to be on the same timeline, both being hired in that same offseason. But I prefer when they're both in the same place. But like everything, Jake, we have to adapt with the times. And there has been a lot of success stories where there's a split happens, one survives, one dies, and then the franchise finds success after the fact. So to me, I no longer think they're attached. No.
I just think there's been too much smoke around the dynamics inside the organization. Remember the Mike Francesa report? The Jets tried to immediately shoot it down, but there's just too much out there. I've heard it from too many people behind the scenes about how you talk about Darren Mougey. It's, oh, well, I don't know about your head coach, but I think you guys have a GM, or teams now use the trade packages the Jets got for Sauce and Quinnen as a barometer for what they need if they were to make the same type of deal, right? And I think people look at the Jets draft and they like the moves. Obviously, things change based on the results of the season and how these players were excited about actually look. But I think it's very clear, even like Glenn making the comment that Mougey was way more involved in hiring some of these assistant coaches, that it's no longer just the Aaron Glenn show. Mougey is way more involved than he was at this time a year ago. Anyone trying to dispute that, you're just not being honest.
Yeah, I think to your point, AG admitting that did catch me off guard, that he had sort of, I don't know.
He mentioned Mougey and Rick Spielman specifically.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what specific word he used, like vetted or whatever, but he communicated with those guys as he was going through the process. And he said he took input from both of those individuals. To me, that's a very different Aaron Glenn from right now than we had a year ago, where he's the big man on campus. It's the AG show. This is how it's rolling. So to me, that was fascinating. I don't know if any of those individuals had any impact on whatever the hell happened with the Wink Martindale thing. Was that solely a Woody thing? There was a lot of reporting on that. That I'm not sure. But yes, that clearly states that the lines are now much more blurred from, we're talking about superpowers and superheroes and sidekicks. I think the lines are a lot more blurred now than they were a year ago.
Doc Jet fan writes in with a super chat here. If I need to get out of the sun at the 7-Eleven Ocean HQ Jet Party, can I reserve a spot under Boy Green's beard?
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite as long as it used to. I don't know. Lawn has sort of fallen off the face of the earth, but I did lose that bet when I believed the Jets would beat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore and the New England Patriots in New England in back-to-back weeks. So it was a poor bet that had me going because I'm an idiot, and so I lost.
I think you just wanted to shave it secretly. You knew they were not winning either.
Maybe that was it, and I made a lot of money from it. A bunch of people, sent in membership, so I had to record it. So I appreciate the money flow that came in. Shout out to Hop on Pop. That was his idea to make some scratch out of this embarrassing moment in my life. No, I want to keep this beard for the rest of my life. The woman likes it, then I'm keeping it. So yeah. So I don't know if there's enough room for you under here. Oh, wow. There's enough room under there.
Whoa. The Zoink Speedo ready to roll for HQ2 in July.
Look at that. Look at that. I'm glad you got the body right there. I've been losing some weight, so that's looking more appropriate. I also like the Nathaniel Hackett martini. That's also a nice. Never had a martini, but you know what? At the Gangrene Beach Club, anything is possible.
Anything is possible, as well said. Austria Jet Fan is in the raffle. Everything is doubled today because we're only doing one live show. I have radio on ESPN New York at 1. So Austrian Jet Fan, you're in for 2. Let's go.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go, baby. This comment is from Indy Jets, who says, so if the players Darren Mougey drafted turn out to be busts, it's AG's fault. I think there's going to be nuance to it, right? Do we think that the players aren't performing well because they're being set up to fail from poor coaching? I think we got to see how it looks, right? Like if we see talent and the team's not winning, will that be put on the coaching more than the personnel, right? Like we knew Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, for example, and Brees, they were really good right away, even though we had concerns still with the Jets coaching as a whole, if that makes sense. So I think you got to actually see what it looks like. But if they turn out to be busts, it's not just Glenn who gets blamed. I mean, if David Bailey stinks, Darren Mougey's got to be held accountable for that too. It's not only good things are Mougey and all the bad things are Glenn. That can't be it either. There has to be a real nuanced, fair discussion on that.
And to me, I think it's going to be different. Maybe Woody will know because we just saw the nastiness with the Brandon Bean, Sean McDermott thing. Who is responsible for what? Yeah, we drafted Keon Coleman, but it was because of this or that. So that will be hard to parse. Who gets the credit for this or that? Because, again, we do have to give respect where respect is due. Darren Mougey is not here without Aaron Glenn. They were set to hire the Lance Newmark files will come out one day. It was supposed to be Lance Newmark. AG made the pivot to Mougey, so he deserves some credit for that. But when we're starting to put chess pieces on boards, who is responsible for this great ad or this trade? Because Aaron Glenn's supposed to have final say over roster control. Not sure if that's still the case. Connor Hughes shared from his reporting that nothing has changed from that standpoint, that he still has final say on stuff like that. So on trades and things of that nature, that's going to be harder to parse. If we get through a disaster season, I guess a lot of people are getting fired, but if we get through a mid-season and it's on that borderline of whether someone's safe or fired, that's going to be hard to parse on who was responsible for what. But I don't think it's as black and white, again, as Indy was maybe sarcastically saying there, that it's not Darren Mougey's the genius and Aaron Glenn's the fool. It's more complicated than that.
I agree. This one is from Yo Holmes, who says any jabroni could trade away the team's best players to dopey teams desperate to trade for them. I don't think this is fair to Darren Mougey. I don't think any team could have got back what they got for Sauce Gardner. I mean, there was big reporting around that deal that the Jets weren't going to do it unless the Colts put in A.D. Mitchell, for example. Darren Mougey held firm and he got what he wanted. That's, to me, a positive. I don't know how many GMs, because you just don't see it that often, could get the Quinnen deal to be a second and a first, but they were able to structure it where it's a first and a better draft year, and it's the better of the first-round picks the Cowboys own, either their own or Green Bay. There was creativity involved in that. How they got Geno to make sure no one could sign him if he became a free agent. There was creativity involved in that. Flipping day 3 picks for players like Phillips, Brownlee, and Briggs. That's not like anyone could do that. You don't see every team do that. I'm sorry. So again, the Jets stunk last year. So people are just going to be like, how good could any of these moves be if they didn't win? And I get all that. But these are important things that matter along the way as you're trying to build your team. The big swings haven't happened yet. You brought it up, quarterback, and we'll see what happens with Glenn. It might be head coach for Mougey as well.
100%. And again, I think it's the value that gets it for me. Did we think Quinnen could be traded? There was a really good chance. Sauce, I had no idea. Totally blindsided on the Sauce thing. But for Quinnen to get the 1 and the 2, Connor's reported maybe the Jets would get a 2. And I'm like, maybe a 2, then kick rocks. I'm not trading Quinnen for maybe a 2. And they got the 2 and the 1. And again, that is masterclass Mougey right there, or Glenn, whoever gets credit for that. to get the better first. I don't know why the Cowboys gave that up in the trade, but thank you. Appreciate it, because anything can happen. Dak Prescott or Jordan Love could slip on a banana peel. Then all of a sudden, whoa, that pick turns from what would have been in the 20s to all of a sudden top 10. So a great maneuvering there by Mougey. And again, Sauce 2-1s and A.D. Mitchell, especially when we're seeing what these other guys are going for, like Myles Garrett. Again, Jared Verse is a superstar player, so he's really, really good. He's not Myles Garrett, but he's really, really good. Plus, he got the pick, so I'm not going to pretend that wasn't a good deal. But, man, the way that Mougey executed on those two trades in particular, he gave himself a chance to dig out of the hole. We have a chance to go get the quarterback. Now he has to go get it, but now we have a chance. We wouldn't have had a chance if we didn't trade those two players.
Totally agree. Hit the like button if you're joining us. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. I know you're not a Knicks fan, Boy Green, but your show has been dominated by plenty who are. Do you have hope for the Jets after seeing this Knicks run?
I do. There was someone that was yelling earlier saying, I got an email about it. Someone said, the Knicks run has nothing to do with the Jets. What would that possibly inspire? And I say, the thing that inspires for me is twofold. One, ownership. People were saying to put James Dolan's head on a pike a couple of years ago, and now he's the owner. Now he's been saying some things that apparently are ruffling more Knicks fans' feathers. But again, if they win the championship, who cares? But they're able to overcome whatever ownership problems exist if you hire the right people, bring the right people in. So to me, that's inspiring. The other thing that's inspiring, and maybe this is more a fan thing than a Jets thing, but to us to see, and Jake, you swim in both waters, so you are a Knicks fan, so this is even more close to the heart for you. But for me, as a non-Knicks fan, seeing a team that has been in the basement, they have sucked. It's been terrible for most of the 21st century. You had the random pop run with Carmelo Anthony when the blockbuster trade happened there, and you had some success, and Carmelo was in the MVP running and led the league in scoring one of those times. Like, there was a lot of good there, but it was mostly bad. And to me, to see a team that was in the dumpster and sucked and jokes made fun of, as you mentioned, the Soul movie. My kids are watching a movie, Knicks are catching random strays in a movie. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Who wrote that? Who was responsible for that? Whatever's going on there. But 53 years to see a franchise that was in the dumpster. We were in the dumpster longer in terms of that championship draft. But if they're able to do it and 3-1 lead, they're in a very great position to do so. To me, as a Jets fan, I'm like, hey, man, if they could do it, we can do it. Like, it can happen. It's possible. All of a sudden, the door's unlocked. The seal is broken. It is more possible after that happens in my fan mind. I don't know if it's in the real mind of my fan mind. It's like, look, it has literally happened with another team in our same city that stunk. It can happen for us one day.
Indy Jets says the only team I root against more than the Knicks are the Dolphins. Indy, one win away from basketball immortality. How many championships do the Indiana Pacers have in their franchise's history?
That's 0.
Shout out to Indy Jets. Paul O'Brien says, can I say one thing? Charles London.
We both have a really good relationship with Rich Cimini, and Rich has joined me, I think, 2 times this offseason. And on our first one, before a lot of the firings happened during that conversation, my son's upset about it. He shouldn't be upset about it. It's great that Charles London is gone. But in that conversation, I told him that, man, I'm an AG truther, but like, he has to get rid of Charles London. It's nonsense. You have to bring somebody else in. This cannot be the quarterback development plan. It cannot include Charles London, a former college running back at Duke, who had been a college running back. All right, that makes sense. All right, he coached running backs. All right, that makes sense. And then just randomly a few years ago, he has an epiphany. He says, you know what? My greater calling was quarterbacks. And I don't know who else said that, but several NFL teams employed him, so I guess they believed him. Oh, my goodness gracious. So I just feel so much better. We got Seth Ryan in the room. We have Frank Wright in the room. Bill Musgrave, I think, is super underrated. People don't give enough credit. Bill Musgrave has been around forever. Former Dallas Cowboys quarterback draft pick back in the 90s. Like, man, this guy's been around football a ton. I think we have a lot of the right people in the room. That doesn't guarantee success, of course, but I feel as good about the Jets quarterback development plan that I've ever felt.
They at least have adults in the room, I would say.
Sure,
that's how I would describe
definitely.
Frank Reich and Bill Musgrave. And I like the idea of having a young guy like Seth Ryan on the staff who could bring some ideas over from Detroit, where they were one of the best offenses.
And it's, everyone claimed nepotism when Seth Ryan was hired. I don't know, man. There's been enough people of Ben Johnson's, and Rex Ryan apparently made no calls to try to help grease the wheels for the Jets to hire Seth. He earned it on his own merit, and people are going to believe whatever they want to believe with his last name. But it sounds like he's a super smart kid. There's a cool nostalgia for Jet fans to be a 16-year-old ball boy. Me and you, Jake, I'm sure we're both at the Cortland practices seeing Seth Ryan running around with Rex and everybody else way back in the day. So I'm excited to have him in here, and I'm curious if he's the long-term plan here, Jake, because Frank Reich, there's some reporting that suggested Frank Reich was strongly considering full retirement this offseason. He pushed back on that a little bit during his very limited media availability, so maybe that's not true. But he's obviously closer to the end of his journey than the beginning. Is Seth Ryan, if things go right, if Aaron Glenn sucks, the whole staff gets fired, and few members of the staff are going to remain on the next group. But if Aaron Glenn succeeds, and Frank Reich, most of these coordinator contracts are like 3 years, so I don't know what it is for Frank. But if Frank exits stage left and it was a success, he can baton pass to Seth Ryan, and maybe Seth Ryan's the offense coordinator. Now, I know I'm making jumps because to go from where he was to pass game coordinator to potentially offense coordinator is huge jumps. But that would be phenomenal if that happened.
God, imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Now, speaking of Rex Ryan, this was great from our Jets Collective episode. Mike Westhoff was hanging around the Jet facility this week, and Rex Ryan could be showing up for minicamp. Take a listen.
Rich, so Mike Westhoff was there, right?
Yeah.
So one of the all-time great special teams coaches, as we all know. When somebody like that shows up, and we've seen this, whether it's Lawrence Taylor or the Giants, even though Lawrence is not a coach, but when a former, like a legacy all-time coach shows up, is he watching? Is he conferring? Like, how does that actually work in real time on the field?
Yeah, I had talked to Mike on Tuesday night, and he said he was thinking he might actually be out there today as well. He was thinking of going Wednesday and Thursday. He wasn't sure. I know he's in the city. He was a little concerned about getting back to the city with all the Knicks traffic and everything like that. But so he was out there. He was on the field. Like Mike Westhoff was on the field, walking around as if he were coaching. Nice. So obviously he's got carte blanche. He gave Chris Banjo's his guy, the special teams coordinator. He recommended him highly to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn knew Banjo. Glenn knew Westhoff, like a little reunion. And I was talking to Rex Ryan yesterday, and Rex told me he's trying to go on Tuesday. So we're going to have another former Jet coach. It'll be weird. Now, I've seen Westhoff at a lot of practices over the years, but seeing Rex Ryan at minicamp on Tuesday will be a little bit weird.
I asked you, Rich, when I saw you at that event we did covering Harrison Phillips getting that award for his charitable work. I'm like, has Rex been around at all since the Jets let him go? And you said, I couldn't remember a time, and here we are. It's going to be that first time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he did, and I just don't know about it. But he told me he's hoping to get there on Tuesday. Obviously, strong ties with the talked to him yesterday about his son, Seth, being the passing game coordinator. They made Seth available to the media yesterday, so it was fun meeting him. The last time I saw Seth, he was like a 16-year-old ball boy, running around, being the gopher, for Rex and the players and so forth. So, yeah, that was a trip seeing Seth. And so, yeah, Rex said he's going to make it out there next week.
How awesome is that? The return of Sexy Rexy at the New York Jets facility. Fire me up. Let's go.
There it is. Play like you mean it. I had to dust it off a little, but the Rex Ryan book is right there, baby. Play like you mean it. I mean, come on, man. That's awesome. As you pointed out, Jake, with your question to apparently Cimini at the gala that, Rex Ryan hadn't been back. He got fired back in 2014. He did interview for the position, but that was when Woody was down in Florida, so he hasn't really been back since. And great. I'm sure I don't know if any of those mandatory minicamps are open to the public or any season ticket holders or anything, but if it were, he would get a warm reception. I think that fans universally love Rex. It's the glory days. There's the last time we were great. I know the last couple of years didn't go great. I don't think anyone throws anything on Rex for that. All good things must come to an end. But I think Rex would get an amazing reception. It's cool. I hope he is able to make it back. It sounds like he's trying to make it back for that first day of the 3-day mandatory minicamp. It's cool for Seth. It's cool for us with Rex. And that's amazing. I love Rex Ryan.
Yeah, Rex, if he shows up for training camp and the fans are there, I mean, he'll be a god walking around there. People
100%.
love Rex.
And I'm sure, Jake, we have it on the same side. You've interviewed him on the radio side, but he's on my Moby Dick list of like a long form interview on YouTube. I reached out to his people before. He doesn't, from everything I've heard, he doesn't like doing a lot of the stuff beyond his required responsibilities or doing like he spoke with Rich Cimini for a story, something like that. So I hope one day he's more open to it because I would absolutely love to have Rex. Nostalgia, his son. I mean, there's a million things to talk about. So he is 1,000% on my list. I'm sure he is for you on YouTube here too.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let me give some love to one of the greats. Wish B gifted 5 memberships to the community. You know what that means. 5 is 10 today. Everything is double. Hit it. Emmanuel Holcomb, Will Star, Jake W, Geeky Gardner, Motivated 99, all receiving a membership from Wish B. Everything is double today. If you're tuning in, only one show. Check me out on the radio. In for the K-Stir, Michael K, from 1 to 3 today, talking plenty about the Knicks. So if you're someone who wants to call in and I recognize you on hold, if you're an Asmaniac, I'm bumping you to the front of the line.
Nice.
T-Town gifted not 1, but 2 memberships. So T-Town, everything is double. So that's 4 right there. Jet up.
Jet up. Let's go.
T-Town's 2 gifted memberships went to the following listeners: Brandonis and LFT Trading Cards. You are both now channel members. Let's go, baby.
Good job.
All right, we're going to do your calls as well. So that is all on the docket. If you want in on the conversation, now's the time. Link is pinned. First up today is none other than a man who very famously loves to sing for people's birthdays. Now, there's someone's birthday out there in the Asmaniac community, and I'm wondering if this man will sing for him. Let's put it all together right now.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Bobby.
Hey, you're very powerful. You lifted me up and threw me like a light feather. You did good.
I tossed you like a rag doll.
Yeah, ragdoll. That's a good idea. I got some good news to you. Your friend, Dr. Lacani. Guess what I heard today?
What happened?
He's going to be a daddy.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Because I asked him if he could come to the game with us in October, but his wife is due in November, so that's why. Can't do it that way. So, hi, boy.
Him on the sex.
Bobby, my boy.
Yeah,
I love to see you, Bobby.
I forgot to. Whose birthday is it today?
Today's birthday is little Joey's birthday.
Oh, right. That's right. Because of the hamster. I hope the guinea pig. Yeah, guinea pig.
Beast guinea pig. Little Joey turns 2 years old today, everyone.
I hope you have a good trip to your wedding. Where you going on your trip? Where's that? Where you going?
Ouch! Hey, hit my teeth. Oh, well.
What's
the birthday boy.
Oh,
yeah,
there's Joey. Okay,
Well,
I'll sing
boy.
Joey's birthday. Yes, today's the birthday. Hi, Joey. Let me put me on full screen and I'll sing Joey. He's cute.
Here he
I
is.
forgot it was his birthday today. Hi, cutie pie. You ready for a song?
Here
You ready?
goes. There he goes.
Okay, you want me to? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, little Joey. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you enjoy your day. How's that? Good?
Not bad. Well, remember he's also Superman too.
Oh, he is Superman. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
he is Superman, and Big Fella's Batman. Big Fella's always going to be Batman. You know.
You take a very good care of him. Beast. You take a very good care of him.
All the time. Yeah, that's why I tell him.
Yeah.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
How long did they
it's a
live?
plane.
How long did they live for? Do you know?
4 to 8 years.
Oh, okay.
He's-
48. I didn't know that.
He's a
Yeah.
funny one, kid. Hey, so how you doing?
Oh, I
How you
didn't
doing?
know it was. I'm doing good. My doctor says it's good, looking much better each day. So not next Friday, but next Monday, I go back because there's a holiday on Friday, the 13th or whatever that is. What's that holiday coming up? The 13th or something?
I see that.
I forgot.
I'll be seeing you on the. I'll be seeing you on the 25th.
Yeah, you're gonna be down there for the Miami game. I heard. Yeah, we're coming down.
If there's a grill
Jake.
and if there's a grill, and there's gloves. I'm going to be working station operation.
Oh, good. Hey, Jake.
Good job, Bobby. That was a
Jake,
great
when
rendition
do
of the
you
Happy
need the
Birthday
money
song.
by?
Don't worry about it right now. We'll take care of it.
Oh, okay. Hey, Boy Green, how you doing? Good?
I'm doing great, Bobby. Great to see you,
How's
brother.
the kids doing?
Yeah,
and
they're
then
just
Jake,
running
have
around.
a safe trip to your wedding.
Thank you. Wait.
Not you, him. He's going to the wedding.
I'm sorry. Wait, this is just new
Are
information.
you going to a wedding, Boy Green? I know he's going to a wedding. And I'm going to
Maybe
call
my
in
own one
today
day.
at 1
I
o'clock.
don't
Hey,
know.
congrats on the sex.
Yeah, hopefully you guys get married. And I think the Knicks will win it in 6. But Dr. Lacani wants them to win it on Saturday.
Amen.
Well, if it's Knicks
You
in
agree with
6,
that?
Jake's third child in
that's
the
what I was
college
thinking. And
education
they
is
win
gonna
it
get
at home.
stoned.
Everybody celebrates on Tuesday.
That's
so,
right.
Jake.
That's right. I prefer to not have to go into further debt for paying for Game 6 tickets if the Knicks could do me a favor and win Saturday
But you will
night.
go.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I'm sick. I mean, yeah. You know what it is too? I don't know if you caught this at the beginning. I was asked by ESPN New York to do an overnight show if the Knicks win on Saturday into Sunday morning from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Now I'm flying up to Boston. One of my good friends from college is getting married on Sunday. The rehearsal dinner Saturday. It will be over before tip off for the Knicks game. So I'll be able to watch the whole game. If the Knicks win, I'm going to do the show from my hotel room in Boston, bringing my you're a radio guy. I'm bringing my Comrex and everything with me.
From 2 to 6 in the morning?
2 to 6 in the morning, and then I'll just be on no sleep the rest of the day for this wedding. And I'm in the wedding. I'm one of the groomsmen. So
I was about to say, if you were just like people get invited to weddings, but to be a key member and do that, you're wow. Okay,
I know.
Well, credit to you, man. That's
the only reason why I'm going to this wedding, by the way. If it was just like a tertiary friend,
I understand. For the
I probably would be.
You're an important piece. I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
I'd be in San Antonio, I think.
Oh, okay.
If this was like a friend of mine, but not a close friend, I think I'd say I can't make it. I'd blame work as an excuse, and I'll be in San Antonio.
So this must be a pretty good friend then.
Very good friend, yeah.
Okay.
Even though he's a Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, and Red Sox fan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know. I can't stand them. But it will make it sweeter to be able to celebrate a championship in front of all of them.
Oh my God! Look at you, but I know I've done the overnight shift once or twice. I don't know how many of those you've done, Jake. Either the post midnight, late into morning, or early morning like that. But oh my God, good luck, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get back to your calls, let me shout out one of the all-time greats. Hold on, StreamYard's acting up. Boy Green back with us. The great Mimosa in the house. She received her signed Wayne Crabette end zone pylon, and now she's gunning for more prizes. Mimosa gifting 10. It's 20 today. Everything's double. Hit it.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
If you hear your name, thank Mimosa for making you a member. Live Like Us official, Ryan Morocco, John Griffin, Stan Throw, Angry Nick Fan Loyalty, Victor Wembanyama is a dirtbag, W. Garcia, Gino Blando, Lifestyle Pro 1, Weedle Beetle 713, and Ricky Rax, all receiving a membership there from Mimosa. All right, let's keep rolling now with your calls. We got Boy Green hanging out. This show will not go as long as normal because I got to get down to the ESPN New York studio. So if you want in, call in, make your comments, get them in, baby. Final show of the week right here on a Friday. Kyle Clifton, you're next.
I couldn't hear you and Paul. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
Loud and clear.
You can't hear us?
I can hear Paul. I can't hear Jake.
Oh, no.
All right. The Paul Asman Show.
Hold on. Let me see if we could get a tech guy on the line or do something.
I had that earlier.
Beast, what do you think the problem is with Kyle Clifton's audio? Beast. It's not, my tech guy's not paying attention to the show. This is a problem.
Yeah, that's
Beast.
Unfortunate.
Beast. I need a tech guy. Hello? Hello, I need a tech guy. Hello, I need a tech guy.
Yes. What do you need?
I need a tech guy. I've only said it 15 times.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I need a tech guy.
Now our tech guy can't hear you. Not good.
Oh, I had to fix my voice thing. The damn thing's acting all goofy. I was trying to get a phone call with the DMV, but bang!
Kyle, can you hear us?
Hello, Kyle. How are you?
Kyle?
Can you hear us?
Kyle Clifton.
Lyle?
Can you
Lyle?
hear me?
Lyle?
He can't hear me.
No.
I can hear you.
Here we go. We must have a TD problem. Technical difficulties. Please stand by for the following announcement. Are we ready for Game 5? Tomorrow night, we're going into the cage. One more fight. One more bloodbath. And then you can say it right now after 53 years. World's heavyweight champions. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again.
Hello. This is good pod. Tomorrow's another day, I guess.
Yes, it is. Tomorrow night is gonna be a great night. We're gonna
You're looking forward to it, Beast.
I've waited a long time for this. We've waited a long period of time. What's gonna feel like the big fight of the year? Knicks, Spurs.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
I'm wondering if they have a jersey in little Joey's size.
Can you hear me, Kyle?
I can't hear Jake.
Oh, what
Can you hear me, Lyle?
I don't know.
Can you hear Boy Green?
Can you hear me?
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, neither. Oh.
Bring my tech guy back on. Beast, what is happening?
Try it again. Do this. Restart your phone. Get it all up to date, and then try to stream it again. Restart your phone. Go right here on the button right here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you clear. We're ready. One more fight. One more battle. We're going to win it big. We're going to fight. Oh. We're sealing the cards. And did you ever remember a game called Nightmare, the video board game?
I don't think I do.
The gatekeeper once said these words: "The cards are on the table. We're gonna raise the bet, and we're gonna play some poker."
Can you hear me?
Take the top card from the Nightmare pack.
Can you hear me?
If it is their fear or your fear, you lose all your keys.
Can you hear me?
Anyway.
That sounds terrific to me, Beast. I gotta duck out, man. I'll talk to you soon.
If it's not, return it to the.
We are mum away.
I guess Kyle just couldn't hear me. Or was that a bit? I think Kyle could hear me.
Yeah. I think you may be onto something there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thunderlip says he'd call me at 2 a.m. I'll take that call.
Great. There you go. Nice.
It's only if the Knicks win. If they don't win, I'm not doing this overnight show. If they do win,
thank God. I'm glad you don't. That'd be painful. Jesus.
Be hard enough to watch a loss and then have to talk about it for 4 hours and then be at a wedding all day.
Yeah. So win only. Okay. Good negotiation on your contract there. Very nice.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls before we start to wrap this baby up. Let's say hello on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now to a man that we call the Rooster.
Jake, how you doing?
Mr. Rooster, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm unbelievable. I mean, we are very close. Whether it happens Saturday or it happens in Game 6 to Jalen Brunson going into the New York annals of all-time great athletes. He's just that good.
You could make a case he's there already, but it lifts him to a different stratosphere if he's the guy to end this drought.
You know, I was thinking about when LeBron made his decision, the first one, and he had no interest to try to get it done in New York, that he ran to Miami and took this super team. And you know, I'm not taking away from LeBron James, all-time great. But Jalen Brunson came here, and no one thought he was the superstar. Everyone kept saying he's a one, he's a two. He's the two guy. We need a one. We need a one. Even this year, he's too small. He's too this. The guy is the ultimate gamer, the ultimate winner, the ultimate leader. And we're right there, Jake. Now, again, I think we'll get it done in 5. I know we'll get it done in 6. It's not getting away from us. Jalen won't let it get away from us. But I mean, we're right there. And why I love we're right. He knows we're right there. After that game, all business.
All business, yep. They've had the best mentality during this run. It starts with him because he's the leader. They never get too high, too low. And that's why, like, you have all the faith they're going to find a way and win one of their next 3.
I do. Again, you look at these 4 games, and they could, they're well-matched teams, but the more experience, the better leader takes us 3 out of these 4 games we've won. And if it comes down to another close game, again, I like their chances at Brunson and the guy with no heart, with no pulse, OG. I mean, he's just he flatlines away. You know what? You know how, one more point with OG, how perfect this run has been is that we were able to get him the rest he needed to be healthy, to be able to leap for the hand of God. He didn't have to fight in that Philly series, and we had to play him because we lost a game or here. We gave him the full rest for Cleveland. Then we got another full rest for the guy is 110%. Think about that. There was a chance he might not have been.
That's huge. And people talked about, the Spurs, they have the momentum because they just played, but it's like the Knicks playing all these fewer games, and especially with OG, who was great before the hamstring injury. Then even when he came back, he was playing well for him, but not like you can't play better than how he is playing right now. He's playing at his absolute best at the best time. And that's because I think you're right. He's 100% fully healthy because he had all this time off and has refound his rhythm he had before the injury.
It's unbelievable. It's going to be exciting. I hope they don't burn the city to the ground, but we'll deal with that after. I got 2 bets for the chat since you're gone for the weekend. If you don't bet the USA tonight in soccer, then open up yourself and look yourself in the mirror. United States plus
You're
105.
a soccer guy?
I'll bet anything. I told you that. I had South Korea. It was a hell of a game last night at 10 o'clock. Moulin Khan with a big goal late. I don't know who the hell he was. Unbelievable shot. Okay,
you're not familiar with the great work of Moulin Khan?
No, I don't. But he was unbelievable. But the USA plus 105 3-way bet means if there's a tie, you lose. There's ties in this first round. And then we're going to go back a pre-Nick game bet. It's the one I give you guys every time. It hits every time. OG 15, Brunson 25. It's now minus 105 or minus 110. I don't care. That's like a pick 'em. We're going to ride our 2 horses. We're going to ride a banner, Jake. Paul Green. This is the start because the Jets, what I've always argued with the Jets, it's all management. The Knicks found the management. Hopefully, Mougey is the guy to get us to the next level because if you don't have the management, nothing below it can work ever. Go Knicks.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rooster. I know nothing about soccer. I'll watch the World Cup every 4 years when the U.S. is in it. We weren't even in it last time, right? So we didn't even have that. So we're playing Paraguay later.
Okay, great.
9 p.m.
Mark your calendars.
I'm sure it will be 1-0 or 1-1, like all these soccer games seem to be.
Yes, I think you're right. Well, Jake, I appreciate you having me on the show. This was a lot of fun. Anytime I get to grace the airwaves here on the Jake Asman Show, it's an awesome time. I got another interview coming up here in a few minutes. That person's trying to call me right now, but I want to thank you for having me on, as always, Jake.
Boy Green, appreciate you stopping by, my friend. We'll talk soon.
For sure. Hey, Jake, can I get one plug in here if I can?
Of course.
All right. So this is something we're going to be doing this offseason. I'll see if I can get it up here on the screen. I never normally share stuff on this side, but here it is. I threw it up there somewhere. It's a screenshot. One of the things we'll be doing on the Boy Green channel this summer, and shout out to Bob Letterer, who you always say death, taxes, and some Bob Letterer action. We're going to be interviewing members of the Super Bowl III team. We've already interviewed Mark Smolinski, and over the coming weeks, we're having Earl Christie, Carl McAdams, Randy Rasmussen. We're going to have all these guys on during the gap before training camp. So we're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers. So feel free to hit it. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. And one of the cool things is for older fans to watch these Super Bowl III guys, to hear those conversations, long form chats, or if you're a new fan, you should know the history of the team. So this is going to be pretty cool, pretty special.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I'll definitely be checking that out. And shout out to Bob Letterer, baby. Big Game Bob, they call him.
That's right. B.O.B. Appreciate you, Jake. Thanks, brother.
Boy Green hanging out with us here this morning. He'll be at Gangrene Beach Club in the Speedo. That says Zoinks on it. GangreneBeachClub.com to get your tickets. We mentioned Mike Westhoff earlier. This was a photo the Jets posted of Westy checking out OTAs this week. Love that. All right. Got time for a couple more calls. Raffle is coming up. Everything is double today. Last call to enter. Only doing one live show today because I'm hosting on ESPN starting at 1. So you'll get more of me. You just got to go to the ESPN New York YouTube channel or put it on the radio, 8:80 a.m. or the ESPN New York app. Richard Todd signed jersey. Aaron Glenn signed end zone pylon. Garrett Wilson framed jersey art. And a cat signed jersey is the top prize for all my Knick fans out there. Today's show is presented by PrizePicks. Here are my official prize pick selections for Game 5 tomorrow night. Brunson, more than 22.5. Alvarado, more than 1.5. Mitch, more than 1.5. Wemby, Dirtbag, McGee, 22.5, more than that. $20 pays out 40. And this is a flex play. So PrizePicks offers the opportunity for you to put 4 of these together, and you only need to hit 3 of the 4 to cash it. So flex play slightly lowers your odds, but does give you a chance to still win if you go 3 out of 4. Right? You know, when you put together a parlay and you're like, man, I would have won if this last leg just hit. Well, this kind of gives you some insurance. So if you get 3 of these right, you win. Brunson, more points. Alvarado, more points. Mitch, more points. Wembanyama, more points. Let's go. $20 to win 40. Use code HMA. Make your own picks. Put $5 in. Get $50 in bonus bets immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls, shall we? Let's say hello to a man who has a beard, I would argue, that is better than Boy Green's.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the Jets. He's one handsome son of a bitch. He's Papa Jet.
Hey, Jake, you got me?
Oh, I got you.
Hey, you know, on this Mougey, we were talking about Mougey and Glenn and that. And I'm not going to tell anybody how to fan, but I don't know. There's a few in the chat that's, I don't know, already knocking him down. I just don't see it. I think he's done enough to, you know, warrant him more time. I mean, the first year he came in, right, I don't know how much overhaul he did on his scouting staff, but when new GMs come in, it takes them a while to build up their staff too.
100%.
But I feel he's done enough. I mean, and let's face it, any GM in the league you're going to have hit and misses. Everybody speaks about Roseman from Philly, and everybody was pissed when we lost Huff to Philly, but how'd that work out for him? But nobody knocks him down for that free agent signing, But anyways, and I would like to see Mougey finish the 2 trades. I'd like to see him see what he's going to do next year with the 3 picks.
They get the chance to, basically finish the rebuild plan. He clearly outlined the ownership. If they gave approval on the Jets to trade away their 2 most notable players on the team besides Garrett.
Right. And Jake, just one more question. Just kind of an oddball one. What's your most hated team in sports? Any sport? Your number 1 most hated team?
Patriots.
Patriots?
Yep.
Yeah, mine's the Bruins. Bottled second, pretty closely, Miami Dolphins. I still can't get over the Mud Bowl,
It's same with my dad.
It had stuck all these years, and I hate Miami, but Boston, I don't know. There's a lot of history there with the Sabres. I can't stand Boston.
I get it. I root against all Boston teams, obviously, but the Patriots hold a special spot of my hatred. I mean, I can't stand
we're in
them.
a different generation gap there, but hey, I'm gonna I'll just take that Todd jersey. You want me to email you just to remind you? I know you're okay. I'll do that though. I'll email today. Jake, you have a good weekend, and God bless you, and go Knicks. I'm rooting for you.
Let's go. We appreciate you, Papa.
Yes! Let's go Knicks! This our year, baby! Win the chip!
Hell yeah. 1 win away from that chip that King Lowski and every diehard Knick fan is coveting. I saw this on social media. I think Side Talk originally posted this. This is incredible. So Knick fans celebrating the win the other night. This dude tosses a cone, also known as a James Harden. And look where it landed. Hold on. Did I cut it off before the best part? That's my bad. Hold on. This dude tosses a cone, and it lands on a guy's head perfectly. And I don't think it's AI. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at that. It lands on the guy's head perfectly. Can you have a better toss? That's incredible. Cone heads, baby. Beast, have you ever seen a better toss? Have you ever seen a better toss?
Yes, I have. But unfortunately, I was going to say this works from Hulk Hogan right there, Commander. This bullseye, smart ass. Yeah. You don't remember that movie, do you? Suburban Commando, Hulk Hogan, Christopher Lloyd. Yes, the 1991 version where he played as Chef Ramsay. That's right. Hulk Hogan was a good actor in that movie. And he took on this weird evil guy called, I don't know who the hell he was, but he came out looking like a green version of the guy from I don't know what sci-fi movie, but it was an ugly version going.
Thank you, Beast. All right, last call for raffle entries. Counting all the names. Football guy says, not a Knicks fan, but I'm rooting for you guys. Go Knicks. Football guy, I saw you asked how to gift or how to enter the raffle. You could gift a membership to your fellow Asmaniac. For every membership you gift, you get a raffle ticket. It's double today. Same with Super Chats for those on the phone who can't gift. And if you can't Super Chat and you want to Venmo me, Jake Asman. Ralphie in for normally 4 entries. Today it's 8 with this. He says, Jake, what do you think is a bigger miracle? The Knicks comeback win in game 4 or little Joey surviving 2 years in Beast's attic? Happy birthday, Joey. Let's go, Knicks. Bing, bong. Ralphie, you're in for 8.
Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo.
Beast, what do you think about this? Little Joey, a bigger upset than the Knicks?
Hey, the little guy likes the big cat. You know what I mean? A big cat. And we're gonna do that game 5 all over that dirtbag Wemby. We're gonna go. Yeah, hey, I know I don't like cats, but you know what? Meow, meow, meow. That'll be Wembley, and here comes Big Cat.
Hey, Gator, send me that. I'll call it Beast official Game 5 preview.
Ouch! Hey, hit my teeth. Oh well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cisco Lopez in the house. Shout out to Cisco. Was a big-time active participant during Nick Shine's interview with Connie Carberg last night. Cisco in the raffle for 20. He get the 10 to the best listeners in sports.
Sometime I do super chat. Sometime I do give membership. But all the time I love the Jake Asman Show. They call me Cisco Lopez.
All right, these are from Cisco. Philip Muselli, Wycad Insanity, Drifting Away, Brandon Newman, the Doodley Fam Rips, UK Jet Fan, Our Boy One, Wemby, You're Dirty, Big Veeble, and Appeal SOB, all receiving a membership there from Cisco Lopez. This one is from the Rooster. He's in for 2. Thank you, Rooster.
Good job.
Rooster, I'm trying to find whose yours went to. Yours went to listener Vince Milton. So, Vince, thank the Rooster. And then last, but certainly not least, Green Gang. How about a 5 spot for the people?
Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo.
C. Diggs, James Trice, RC Candlestick, Shrey Sharufi, True to Form, all getting a membership. And then he figured out how to do it. Football Guy says, Beast always makes me laugh while at work. Football Guy, you are officially now in the raffle. Beast, your thoughts on making this man laugh always at work?
What you see is what you get.
It's true.
What you see is what you get. Now, let's play some poker.
Last call for entries. Today's closer is Los. Hello, Carlos.
Wow. 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 That's all I can say, Jake. I called in the other day. I told you it's a must-win for the Knicks. They were down 29, and I really feel that they felt deep down in their heart that they knew it was a must-win as well. What a heck of a game. What a heck of a comeback. Just from a basketball fan standpoint, not a Knicks fan, but just watching that kind of grit, that kind of heart, man, like it's just totally amazing what the Knicks pulled off the other night. And I was thinking about when they did it to Cleveland and they came back in that game 1, they were down by about 22. And they, from that moment on, they just stole Cleveland's heart. And I really feel like that's it. You know, the Spurs had their chance to kind of make it interesting, but it's over, man. It's over. The championship is going to New York City. And wow, I just, like I said, just from a basketball standpoint, fan of basketball, what an amazing comeback. From a human standpoint, though, Jake, I must say, wasn't in agreement too much with some of that behavior out there. You know, Wemby getting some stuff thrown at him and things of that nature, right? I believe there was a fan that was beat up not too long ago as well. But other than that, though, just amazing. They did it. You know, they pulled it off, man, and they deserve every bit of what, you know, of the championship, man. I know a lot of people try to downplay, oh, well, you know, they had an easy run. Listen, it is not easy to.
You're talking about like it's done. Job's not finished.
Jake, it's over, man. That's it. I mean,
it's not. One more. Call me next week. All right, then it's over.
But yeah, man, I just can't wait for some football now, man. Looking forward to seeing the Jets, man. I really feel I think we'll get more wins than what we're projected to get, honestly. If Geno stays healthy, I think I would give us at least last time I heard the projections maybe like 5 games. I would give us at least 7. 7 to 8 games I think is definitely doable. And I think that would be an improvement that we haven't seen in a long time. So, yeah. But anyways, Jake, you have a blessed rest of your week, as well as the Jake Asman as Maniacs. It's always a pleasure to get on here and share a little bit of what I got to give. All right, so see you next time.
Los, we appreciate you. It is not over yet, but we can almost taste it. I said that was going to be the closer. However, we had some tech issues with this guy earlier, so let's see if we have resolved said issues. Ladies and gentlemen, Lyle's brother's on the line. Hello, Lyle.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Good job.
So that guy with the cone, it angers me a little bit. I have to be honest, because it's a little unsafe to do that. It's a cool visual. There's no doubt about it. But, like, if that thing lands a certain way, hits a guy in a temple, someone could really hurt. So, this is a unique time for Knicks fans. I hope people are enjoying themselves, but let's be smarter. I wanted to know what your thoughts were on the tip. If there was a true carom, do you think that Cat had a chance on a miss there with the time that was left?
Let's watch it again. Not impossible, but he was being boxed out.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he had decent enough position if he had a true carom is really what my thought was there. Because, I mean, that's what you get when you have people double teaming the ball, outside the arc. Yeah, I mean, I get what Papa Jet is saying about giving Mougey a chance, and I generally like his moves. The one thing I'll say is we got to see a little bit more from the day 3 guys, and I think he's not I think he's in a better position than Glenn, but like, what if DeMario, the wheels fall off and Minka is not what we kind of expected? I like the Minka trade. I didn't really love the DeMario signing. But like, and Tavondre Sweat doesn't like, I think that a lot depends on this year. As far as the players that have been brought in. I think on day 1 and day 2 of the draft, Mougey has been pretty good. It's just that in day 3, especially last year, I felt like they lost the script a little bit. And I've been a little bit critical about stuff at the top of the 4th round. And I'd like to see how those guys play out. Like, does the defensive tackle come out and play a little bit? Does he overplay his draft position? Does Klubnik show enough as the backup to make us feel comfortable that we spent an extra 4th round pick to come up? And I understand that there was a 6th rounder that we got back, but like, it's just, I think that there's a lot to be writ in the next 5 or 6 months about Mougey that is going to, I think that Glenn, if he doesn't get to 7 wins, he's gone. I think that if they finish with 5 or 6 and it seems like some of the pieces are good, that Mougey could stay. But this is a critical time for him as well, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we got to just see how it plays out, because if the picks that Mougey made, they look terrible, we're not going to have the same tune on the guy if Glenn's bad and we want to, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's such a tough conversation. There's a lot of nuance. My gut tells me, though, Mougey's here a year from now, and that is not the case necessarily with Glenn. Like, there's a real path for Mougey picking his coach.
Yeah, and I think especially if one of the 3 first rounders is a glaring miss, right? Like you don't expect
Bailey if it's the number 2 pick.
Right. Well, even you don't expect much from a tight end in round 1, but you would expect Cooper to contribute this year, right? Like he's got enough skills, and you're just looking for someone who can take the heat off Garrett. He should be able to do that in year 1. I'm hopeful. I appreciate your time, Jake.
Kyle, great call. I think Bailey's the big thing because again, you have a defensive coach. We've all lauded the position coach they hired in Carl Dunbar. If Bailey's not good, the Jets front office and coaching staff look terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine writes in 2026 predictions. Knicks win, Jake loses voice. Manhattan burns, Membu all-pro, Geno sets Jet passing records, Bailey double-digit sacks, winning record, Jake loses voice, and Manhattan burns again. Well, I mean, if we're going to get a championship and a Jet double-digit or a winning record, I mean, it's kind of worth it, no? Nick Shine in the raffle for 4. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Jet up. Let's go.
Geno, breaking all the passing records. I hope. I like the optimism in June. I like the optimism in June. All right, I'm counting all the raffle names. I am almost done. We're going to head it over to the master of raffle ceremony. And I'm going to introduce him by first giving you the best Game 5 preview you won't find anywhere else. Beast official Game 5 preview.
Meow, meow. That'll be Wembley, and here comes Big Cat. Well, we'll see you live. We'll see you in a couple minutes. All right. Holla at you, player.
Who are you on the phone with?
Business associates.
Oh, of course.
What you see is what you get. And Game 5, we will destroy.
Who's your business associate?
My business associates are through other departments that I stay in contact with.
Oh, okay, of course.
See stock with Turner and many other departments. What you see is what you get. Hey, there's no saying. If you don't like it, hey, starve. That's all.
There's an old saying, if you don't like it,
you don't have to eat it if you don't want to. Oh, well.
That feels unlikely.
Tomorrow night, we're ready. We're ready. Give us Wembley. We're gonna ping pong that son of a bitch going ping, ping, pong, 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 ping, 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 bong, 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 ping, 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 ping. You never played pinball, did you? You never got taken to the arcades?
Oh, many times.
I see. So you are familiar with going to the arcade. I've only been to the arcades a couple of times, but not the well. If you want to play the real stuff, okay. Give me Missile Command, give me Defender, and give me old WWF Superstars, the one you can play on the arcade and just go. And then you got to use your fingers. You got to go. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh no! Are we ready for that raffle?
Oh yeah, we're ready. But first, a couple shout outs here. Black Gypsy just gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for 2. Let's go.
Ouch! Hey, hit my teeth. Oh well.
And Major Poonage gifted 5 memberships. That means he is in for 10. Let's go. And now we're ready for the weekly raffle.
Now, ladies, bring over the raffle. We're going to get a winner today. It's playtime. Should I say it? At 3, 2, 1, let it rip.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, the raffle. Here we go. All the entries from the previous week have been accounted for. Today on the show, we have 4 items to give away. Cat signed jersey, Garrett Wilson framed jersey art, Glenn signed pylon, Richard Todd signed jersey. If you win, the way to claim your prize is to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. If you do that, you send me your name and address, I can then mail you or order you your prize. So, good luck to everyone. We've been doing these since December of 2024. This is our 77th weekly raffle. You guys make it possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we shuffle all the names. Good luck to everyone. But only one can win our top prize this week, which is the cat jersey. We'll start with that. The winner is Mike D's Nuts. Congratulations to Mike D's Nuts. And when Mike D's Nuts does things around here, we have a very specific drop that we play. Hit it. D's Nuts. Congratulations to Mike D's Nuts. Mike, you're the first winner this week. All right. Let's remove Mike's entries. You can only win one prize per weekly raffle. Our next prize is something very cool. I've had it sitting in my apartment for a while. I'm excited for someone to win it. It is a framed jersey art print of Garrett Wilson. Will look great in your man cave or wherever you watch sports. Only one can win. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is John J. Williams. Now, John J. goes by a different name in the chat. I forget what it is. He always enters via Zelle. But he won. So, John J., I forget what your actual YouTube name is, but you're the winner. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, our next prize is a signed AG end zone pylon. It has the Jet logo on it, too. Will look great on your memorabilia shelf. Will look great anywhere. Here we go. The Wheel of Champions is on the screen. The winner of the AG pylon is Anthony Logerano. Congrats, Anthony. He's on a roll, man. I think he's won 3 prizes over the last 2 weeks. Anthony, thank you. Thank you for your support. As always, he is the winner of the Aaron Glenn end zone pylon, which means we got one shuffle left. Richard Todd signed jersey. Good luck to everybody. Our final weekly raffle winner for raffle 77 is Derek, the Kansas Jet fan. Hey, Derek on a roll. Signed Kevin Mougey jersey, signed Vinny T jersey, won earlier this week, and now Richard Todd. He's collecting all the old Jet QB side jerseys. Derek, congratulations. You are our final weekly raffle winner. I will put together a new set of awesome prizes for our upcoming raffle next week, but give it up for all our winners. Yeah, baby, let's go. Congratulations to everyone who won a prize. Reminder, I'm on the radio today starting at 1, which is why we started the show earlier than normal. Still gave you almost 2 hours. So 1 to 3 today, tune in. Talking plenty of Knicks. And if you're an Asmaniac who calls in, I will make sure that you get to the front of the line. Thanks to Boy Green for hopping on the show, talking Jets with me earlier. You guys are the best. Congrats to all our winners. Thanks to everyone who calls in, keeps the show afloat in June. Join the Patreon. Next week, I'm planning to have a link for people to reserve their spot if they want to join us for the annual Asmaniac home game, tailgate, and group buy. We'll buy tickets all in the same section together. Tailgate before the game. We will have the opportunity for people to go on the field like we did last year after the game. So that is going to start taking place next week. If you want to make sure you don't miss that, join the Patreon. You'll hear about it before anyone. Spots are limited. We got about 70 spots initially. So patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. I'll post on the Patreon and in the Discord for those of you who plan on attending. Mike Dems, I saw this just now. You're the first to enter next week's raffle, and we'll count it for 2 since the wheel already was spun. Mike, you're the man. Thanks for supporting the show.
Just don't let go of the rope.
All right, that does it for me. I'll talk to you guys on the radio starting at 1. Let's go Knicks. I hope the next time I'm live on YouTube, we are discussing the Knicks winning a championship for the first time in 53 years. Let's go Knicks. And courtesy of The Athletic, here's a little recap of what it was like to be in the building Wednesday night. Go Knicks. I'll talk to you guys on the radio at 1.
It was the best. We were down by 29 points, and we came back from OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson, baby.
I don't even have the words. I blacked out. Craziest night of my life. This is one of the happiest days of my life. It's been crazy. I just watched a 30-point comeback. I mean, I still can't believe this is real life. Yo, I have never experienced anything like this in the history of me being alive. I've been alive for 21 years.
The most amazing sporting events I've ever seen. And I was in the Garden when Willis came out in Game 7 in 1970.
Is this the best sporting moment of your life?
The best!
It was very exciting. It was very stressful. It was my first NBA game, actually. And I was, like, freaking out.
The best feeling of our life.
You will never feel anything
better. We've been to a million sports things in our life, and this was the best.
Nothing will ever top this.
The kid next to me left and said he's going to get the early train. I feel so bad for him. He's definitely possibly jumped off the bridge right now.
It was absolutely life-changing. It was the greatest sports moment I've ever had in my life. I don't think I'll ever reach that joy in a sports moment like I just did.
What would a Knicks championship mean to you?
The world!
To be with my son, who is my best friend.
This is my best friend.
And we just we love this moment together.
My dad, who made me a Knicks fan, I lost him 6 months ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
A massive heart attack, and he died actually the night the Knicks won the NBA Cup. And I, had it in my head, and they came back, and honestly, it meant everything to me. It'd be probably the best thing that's happened since that horrible day. That was 53 years of pent-up frustration to now be one win away from basketball immortality. There's not a fan base in professional sports, in all the sports, that deserved a win like that than the New York Knicks fans. Oh!
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets!